When you travel through a city such as LA, for example, what is one of the first things you will see? Well, probably one of the first things you will see is a homeless person on the streets, most likely with a tent on top of them, which is why today I will be talking about the topic of homelessness and the problems that it brings. Now, this is relevant to everyone because as populations in states like California continue to grow in size, the amount of homeless people in these areas will more than likely begin to increase as well, which will affect our environment. Now, homelessness is an issue that the government needs to address more often and provide more solutions to. I'll be talking about the problems of homelessness, such as trash accumulation, what are the causes of homelessness, and what we in the government can do to prevent homelessness. And I will first start off with the problems. One major problem with homelessness is that it negatively affects the environment. According to the Echo Bear Biohazard Cleaning Company, which is an organization that helps clean areas like California, one way homeless people affect the environment is through trash. Now, most homeless people don't know any city protocols regarding disposal of trash. So what they do is just litter and leave the trash everywhere. Now, another way in which homeless people affect the environment is through human waste. Now, most homeless people, instead of finding a bathroom, they decide to defecate and release their urine onto streets or in areas like in parks. There was actually a moment once when I was driving around the city of Sun Valley, and during a stop sign, I turned to my right, I looked, and I saw a homeless person without their pants just defecating onto a sidewalk. This shows that most homeless people don't care, at least don't know about any public safety, and are willing to dirty our environment. Now, this is important since there are already a lot of cities and states that have probably too much trash and litter. According to the Basic Beat Cleaning and Janitorial Services, which is an organization that cleans cities and buildings, the two dirtiest cities in the United States are New York and Los Angeles. And according to the organization called Our Father's House Soup Kitchen, which is an organization that helps feed homeless people, the two cities that are most popular with homeless people are New York and Los Angeles. This shows that although there might be a direct cost, there is still a heavy association between the amount of homeless people in LA and cities like LA and the amount of trash that surrounds those areas. Now, with the trash problem, if it's not addressed, it can begin to pollute our air due to chemicals being released from those trash and spreading onto the air. Along with that issue, if the problem of homelessness is not addressed, it can contaminate the water that we need and the water that we use. According to the Echo Bear Biohazard Cleaning Company again, along with air pollution, biohazard materials, human waste, and trash can contaminate the water that travels through our cities or through its drainage system. This water will then land or travel into areas like streams, rivers, and lakes and begin to poison that area and any of the animals that may live in it or drink it. This shows that homelessness can affect issues that are beyond our cities and begin to affect the resources that we use, such as water, since on occasion we use and drink water that comes from rivers and lakes. Now that we discussed the major problems of homelessness, let's discuss what are the main causes of it. Although there are minor causes of homelessness such as poor choices in life, use of drugs, mental illness, and family and relationship issues, the main cause of homelessness here is unemployment. According to the Homelessness Policy Research Institute, which is an organization that has experts who have experienced homelessness, in a survey in 2019, almost 46% of people who were homeless in the city of LA were homeless due to the fact that they did not have a job. This shows that almost 50% of people are homeless due to unemployment issues and provides an obvious reason as to why they're homeless. Without a job, you can't afford to keep leaving your house and keep paying for it, which results in you, getting evicted. Now that we discussed the main cause of homelessness, let's discuss what are some solutions to it. One of the biggest solutions to homelessness is to provide more homeless shelters and programs. With these programs, all the person needs to do is find a shelter, find a way to pay for the shelter, and find a way to find a permanent way to stay in there. With only those three steps, a lot of homeless people have the chance to find a house to stay and even a way to find a permanent stay. And these homeless programs and shelters have shown to be very useful and sufficient multiple times. According to a news release by Governor Gavin Newsom, homeless programs like Room Key and Home Key have helped almost 50,000 people find homeless shelters and even 8,000 people to find a way to permanently stay in these houses. This shows that homeless shelters do have the potential to help more homeless people. The problem is that they need more time and funding in order for them to be more sufficient. With these homeless shelters, the amount of homeless people in cities began to decrease, which affects the amount of trash and the amount of human waste that surrounds the cities, and it will begin to decrease. Now that we have discussed the solution to homelessness, let's summarize what we have discussed. In summary, homelessness is an issue that needs to be addressed by the government more often and provide more solutions to. It negatively affects the environment through air pollution and affecting areas such as water, lakes, and the main causes of homelessness are unemployment. And the only solution to this is to provide more homeless shelters in order to decrease the amount of homeless people in the cities. At the end of the day, homelessness is an issue that will always be a problem. Some people are homeless due to the fact that they made poor choices in their life, such as taking drugs. However, some people are homeless due to issues out of their control, such as unemployment. And these are the types of people that we in our government should help. People who actually have a chance to find a way to live in a house again. And if we help these type of people, the amount of homeless people will begin to decrease. Homelessness, as I said before, is always a problem, but the amount of homeless people that crowd the cities can always be decreased.